Yo, ho, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to yet another edition of Dom Mafia Live. My God, I missed you guys. I definitely missed you. Now, I certainly hope that all of you enjoyed your long Fourth of July weekend. I certainly know that I did. I literally had a bunch of friends from out of town. One is actually still here, as a matter of fact. He drove from Florida. We ended up having a great time celebrating my 32nd birthday, and then obviously 4th of July ended up coming on in with that as well. So it was a wild, wild experience. Very good. It was beautiful, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I cannot complain, really, and I sincerely hope that everybody had a great time in Buffalo or wherever you are. But it's back to damn business. All right, ladies and gents, right now we are currently less than 3 weeks away from actual football news that should be starting, which is absolutely incredible, right? I'm not sure about you guys, but I am completely excited about it. This whole scrolling through Twitter and just seeing like all these puff pieces about like how the second string fullback thinks that Brock Purdy is going to develop into year two. I'm getting sick of those I'm getting sick of those puff piece articles. I really am. But today it was a little interesting because, as many of you know, Josh Allen ended up actually sitting down with Bussin with the boys from Bartsool Sports, and quite a bit was released as far as his thoughts on the Stefon Diggs situation. Which, spoiler alert, it turns out that the media just completely blew that out of the proportion. And then some also really like fun nuggets and stuff like that, and like how coaches from a different teammate's perspective has been preparing for Josh Allen throughout the past couple of years. But guys, listen, I am 100% ready for all of this. And thank you so much for tuning in. As always, Del Mafia Live, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. EST. I know this past week wasn't due to the holiday, but back on schedule as of right now. This is brought to you by Prize Picks, hands down the number one fantasy sports app on the platform today. Super simple. So all you do is just pick and so you pick anywhere between 2 to 6 legs in your parlay, and say, for example, that you predict correctly of how those particular players are going to do, and you have the opportunity of winning some serious money. All you need to do is simply just sign up for Prize Picks and then use code Dom Mafia, and then you will get 100% price match on your initial deposit. So certainly something to look into, ladies and gents. It is nothing but the best. I'm sipping here on my Red Bull Zero, as a matter of fact. No coffee in the house right now, which is an issue. I think I have to make some things go down, but yeah, let's get that energy. Let's get that energy. Bobby HZ is coming in saying, "What's up, Dan? Hope all is well." Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm definitely glad to be back into a routine. Yesterday, I just ended up taking the day off because I still had some friends in town that were visiting, wanted to show them some love. But it is so good to get back into business. And then also the AFC's roundtable. We had a bunch of scheduling conflicts last night. So we're actually going live tonight at 7:30 p.m. EST. So make sure you turn in there. Morning Mafia, Vegas K. Say, hope you're having a fun birthday, Dan. I hope you had a fun birthday. Road tripping with the pup. It's exciting, man. Where are you going? Where are you going? Hey, Dan Mitchell, what's poppin'? Hope your week has been great. Go Bills. Man, this week has been great, especially when I saw that training camp is literally less than 3 weeks away. I'm salivating for when that finally comes through. Sean, yo ho ho. What's up, Dan, man? Let's go Buffalo. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's great to be back, people. Hope all is well with you, Dan. And the people, dude, listen, man. Listen, I enjoy spending my early afternoons, or actually technically morning, right? And so I love spending my mornings with you guys during this morning show, just talking about everything and anything that has to do with football. My go-to. So nothing like 4th of July and being a fan of America's team. The Patriots, the delusional Patriots fan coming in, giving his piece. Okay, literally just finished watching the podcast. I learned people still sleep on buffalo blue cheese. Stefon is him, regardless of BS, and Josh just being a huge whiskey guy. Go Bills. 63 days before kickoff. I know, man, right? Fucking A. And that's actually going to be the day where hopefully I get to meet a lot of you guys. I know that I'm going to have to meet a bunch of Jets fans during the AFC's roundtable event, but here we are. Garrett coming in and saying, for real, my off-season depression is at an all-time high. dude, it's just less than 3 weeks away. It's less than 3 weeks away. You know what I mean? I think how I'm going to get over it is that I'm just going to log on a regular basis onto this show and just talk to my people and just talk to my people in the meantime. I think that's how we make this work. Dan, always a pleasure watching your work. Hope the fam as well. DF, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. My family's doing well. My dad's actually going up to Buffalo right now to visit his family. So great thing. Great thing. Or my family, rather, as well. The man, the myth, the legend is back. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Dan, you sound muffled. You know you're right. I do apologize about that. As I mentioned previously, I still have a friend from Florida visiting me, and he is sleeping in our lofts, which is where my office is. So I didn't want to wake him up, so I'm out in the garage right now, and then I'm using my AirPods for a microphone. So if it's a little not ideal, my sincerest apologies, but we'll be back up in that office very, very soon. Damon, what's up? What's up, man? How's life with you? How is life with you, my friend? Love that. King Jamie says, hello, Dan. Happy belated birthday. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Jamie. I'm 32 years old. Yeah, it was a great experience. It was a great experience. We went out on the boat, went to the beach a little bit. Like, I think all summer activities were done this weekend. It was great. Anyway, Josh Allen sat down with Bussin with the boys, right? So we're going to play a couple of clips. We're going to talk about it. One in particular, I would say, is something that really stood out to me of how certain teams actually plan for Josh Allen when he does come through with it. But as you can see, these two, Bussin with the boys, so they're two actual former Titans players. They actually ended up saying how they would prepare for Josh Allen. And let's see if there is any truth to that. Let's watch.
Do you know your stats rolling out right to left?
Is it much different?
Much different.
Okay. Left's worse?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
If you roll out to your left, it's not as good as rolling out to your right.
Gotcha.
That is a game plan against you, by the way. I'm giving you some insight.
Hang on, don't get the boys. We still need the boys to play well.
Play them this year?
No.
Yeah, but if they do,
yeah,
because that is a
nugget.
That's a nugget that.
Oh no!
I would.
I did like that. And so I did like that because first off, I know that neither of these guys are on the Titans right now, but they definitely didn't do their team. They definitely didn't do their team any favors by saying that. And it's funny how like you can see Josh Allen just sitting back, just be like, oh no, what will I ever do? He's probably reflecting back on that Tennessee Titans game that he played where he absolutely just demolished them last year. And so the year before, like when he slipped on the goal line, and we should have won that game as well. He still did very, very well. But apparently that's just so happens to be what Josh Allen is typically prepared for, as somebody ended up putting something pretty interesting down here. I think it was the Bills guys who ended up writing it out, but here are the stats that they put together. Let me see, for Josh Allen and how he did. Maybe it was them, maybe it was nobody, but honestly, his stats particularly really aren't that rough, right? He doesn't – oh, yeah, that's it. So, like, on top of that as well, they said – share this tab instead. They said that he doesn't protect the ball as well as when he runs, and in this interview, he was talking about the fact that he doesn't like, tucking the ball in the pocket when he runs because he's not going to be able to throw the ball, which I get. It makes him Josh Allen, right? It makes him Josh Allen. So I'm not necessarily upset when it comes to it. Let me go on ahead and pull out some other clips about what we saw from our boy over here, because we have a lot to talk about with this podcast. We learned quite a bit. But let me go on ahead and knock this out. Troy. Good morning, Dan and Mafia. What's going on with you, man? Troy, what is going on with you? Josh looks huge compared to them. And it's funny, too, because Lewin is an offensive lineman, which is even crazier when it comes down to it. And then the other guy was a linebacker. It could have been a camera angle. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. If Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes both throw 35 touchdown passes, they will both be the first guys to ever do it that 4 times in a row, I believe. Listen, man, I'm all about records, and I've seen Josh Allen break so many records since he's been on the Buffalo Bills, particularly, Buffalo records, but completely fine with it. Make sure you keep Allen in the pocket. Not that he sucks in the pocket, but you just don't want broken plays, plus the QB with a big arm, plus playmaker wide receiver. I mean, I think that's probably the game plan surrounding Allen just in general. What is stupid about rolling to the left? Most QBs struggle rolling to the left more than the right. That is nothing new. I mean, yeah, absolutely, because it's going to put them in an awkward throwing position. So I think that whole game plan was kind of lazy. So maybe he was just absolutely bullshitting. But let's see. Oh, this is big. Hold on.
In Buffalo, a lot of people are on the blue cheese over ranch with wings. Are you on that?
Where do you stand on blue cheese and ranch for wings?
Blue cheese in Buffalo is different. Blue cheese is him. Blue cheese is him in Buffalo. It's not even close. There's.
What do you mean in Buffalo, brother? Blue cheese is garbage.
No, it's not. No, blue cheese is fantastic.
So you're a blue cheese over ranch guy.
It's a dude who's about to walk out over the blue cheese thing. Honestly, man, I love blue cheese. Is my thing. But then again, I am from Buffalo. Let's see what else. Okay, this is not even that podcast, but I kind of want to watch this.
Who is the quarterback we're talking about? And shoot, maybe it's Tom Brady, but I don't think so. AFC East, who's the quarterback?
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Not even close.
Josh Allen.
Yeah. What?
Like Josh Allen.
Okay.
Everybody wants to hate on Josh
You
Allen.
Oh, this is an old clip.
Sam Darnold last year?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did. I rated it higher. But everybody wants, because they all know proven right. We all do. But Josh Allen. And do you watch every play?
I don't know this.
I did. Okay. I watched every snap.
There's no chance in the world you watch every
I watched What'd you see? Where did you see? I saw a kid.
Yeah, this is an old clip I completely forgot about. I do remember that when everybody just okay, this is what we want to talk about is the Stefon Diggs situation.
What the media has blown this.
The Stefon Diggs stuff going on. Can you talk about your relationship with him?
Yeah, I love him. That's my guy. What the media has blown this so far out of proportion. Right, we are in rookie or mini camp. We're not playing a game for 4 months. He doesn't show up one day. He's still there. Coach asked him to go home. We were in talks and discussions of trying to resolve some things, and it wasn't anything major. And media just blew it up. They're still talking about it. Let it go. There's no reason to continue talking about it. He was on the field with us the next day. It was not a big deal.
So the Stefon Diggs stuff going on. Can you talk?
That's exactly what we needed to hear. So, I mean, who remembers, honestly, for the past couple of, a few weeks in the past, that's all the news was centralized is around everything. It's absolutely wild. Let me see what else we got from this podcast. I already got this going on. Which is those two major clips, it seems. I still haven't watched the full podcast. I think I'm going to do that a little later. I'm trying to kill some time right before we start doing some other things. But absolutely wild. And then I did also notice that there was a bunch. Oh, this guy. Yeah, who remembers? Oh, God, this guy, bro. Not this fucking guy, man. Not this. All right. So he is a face in the media, and he was upset that Josh Allen threw the media under the bus. He said the answer could have been, we understand the media has a job to do. When coach says he's concerned, it becomes a talking point, but we're comfortable things are resolved. Look forward to get back together in camp. Instead of Josh swung at the hornet's nest, so he might get stung. By who, Thad? You? Oh, my God. I am sure that he is absolutely – someone from the media will inevitably complain that a guy who's been consistently available and cordial towards them is now being mean. And then like clockwork, seconds later, Thad Brown. Just not – dude, that was a fucking travesty. That was an absolute travesty. But so far, definitely go ahead and watch that podcast. It was a great show. Definitely a solid little situation that we can do. But we will see. Okay. So there are different kinds. One for the wings, which is good, and one other ones are for salad, tastes terrible. Absolutely, it has to be exclusively for wings and dipping sauce. The salad dressing is completely different. Long time no see, man. Hope you enjoyed your birthday and the 4th. Thank you, man. I definitely did. I feel like every single year, that weekend's always been pretty huge for me because, like, me living in a beach town, I feel like I always have a bunch of people that, like, want to come and visit. So, like, family, friends. So it's typically, like, just, like, I'd say, like, a replay of, like, the college lifestyle for a couple of days. And, like, at 32 years old, I'm not sure I can handle it much anymore, but we'll see. Delusional Patriots fan went through and said, "Did he say Sam Darnold?" Yeah, man, most definitely. That clip that we just watched was, I think it was from 2019, where they said who is going to be the best quarterback in the AFC East, and that was Todd McShay, who was recently just let go. Was recently just let go from ESPN. Big Allen hater, one of the two. But then he just came up and then made it work. Geno's is the best blue cheese. And so McShay's take on Allen was so bad that ESPN fired him for it. A lot of people got fired, man. A lot of people got fired. And, like, you have to think, like, I'm sure they might, like, find jobs elsewhere, perhaps. But I wonder how many of them are going to go the independent route, start a YouTube channel, and see if they can, sort of hop into this whole sort of industry, but we will see. Like, I mean, I feel bad for him, man. Like, being laid off is not fun. It definitely isn't. Dan, outside of the quarterback position, I have never been more hyped about a draft pick in a long, long time. Kincaid is going to rip it. Man, neither have I, my friend. I've said this before, and I said that I haven't been as excited about a rookie as I am for Dalton Kincaid. I mean, I think that everybody has been sitting down there, like, with those sound bites, just completely praising his route running ability, his hands. First off, I really hope the kid stays healthy. That's number one. And then number two, I just really hope that we implement this guy almost immediately when it comes down into this offense. I don't want Sean McDermott to sit back and do what he normally does with rookies and just let them learn the offense. He needs to earn his spot, young man. No. This kid's like a very, very good asset that the Buffalo Bills desperately need, especially when it comes into the red zone and especially when it comes into giving Josh Allen an actual slot threat, because we fucking need it. And so I think the media blowing up with the Diggs drama helps us, in my opinion. Everybody is counting us out already. I think the Bills use this for fuel. And it's wild too, man, because, I mean, I'm seeing a bunch of, like, lists, like top 10 lists of, like, most complete rosters. And the Bills are, like, still top 3, top 5 in the vast majority of them. Not even close to the Jets, not even close to the Dolphins, which is absolutely wild too. But we will see. Garrett's coming in saying, was Sean McDermott that made that situation so strange, though? Like, why did he say he was very concerned, then backtrack and say he let Diggs leave? McDermott fumbled the bag. I'm not sure if it was on purpose. I'm not entirely sure if it was on purpose. But, yeah, most definitely. I mean, all McDermott had to say was, oh, yeah, I gave him the day off. And so I gave him the day off. Something personal happened for him. Lie, dude. Just go ahead and protect your house, okay? Like, don't bring any, like, unnecessary distractions to your team. I don't know. I mean, maybe he was on his period that day, McDermott, of course, and he just decided to go through with that. No, Josh needs to do this and other players because otherwise the media will never learn. Absolutely. Josh, though, class act. Always has. Always has. You're right says, he says it's nothing, but we'll find out during the season if it really was nothing, especially if Diggs acts up again. Hopefully he just reports the training camp, which I think he will. He'll be all smiles. Really what I need to see is his first press conference. And so if I see his first press conference and he is the normal Diggs that we know and love, then it's going to be completely fine. And besides, honestly, like, I mean, like, when it comes down into it, I mean, where could he potentially go to have a better chance of winning a Super Bowl right now? Like, where could he potentially go? Like, who would, first off, like, spend the money on him? It's hard to say. Like, Dallas, maybe, but, like, Dallas is not going to get past the first round. It's just how it is. But who even knows how that works out? Most bottled blue cheese is trash, to be honest, especially Ken's. Scratch made is the way to go. Has to be scratch made. I'm not a big fan of the bottled blue cheese either. And down here with wing places, I think that's all they use. Very few of them ever make it homemade. It's just not the same. It's not the same. But I'm definitely going to be getting, like, I always get my share when I'm back home. Brandon Day. So I think Hopkins holding out shows he wants to play with a legit quarterback. Do you think the Diggs drama keeps us from not signing him? No, man. Like, I mean, trust me, I would love nothing more than to be surprised, wake up, and see that D-Hop sign with the Buffalo Bills. I would love it. It's just hard for me to see it. It's just hard for me to see it at this point. I think that the only acquisition that we are going to make, so the only acquisition that we are going to make throughout the rest of the season is going to be draft picks, right? Like, we'll trade somebody. I still think that Boogie Basham is on the trade block. I saw a couple of people think that AJ Epinesa might. I don't want Epinesa to go because I think that he had a great season last year, and I think that he's going to pick up where he left off on that. But I just don't see us signing any huge names for the rest of this offseason, unfortunately. But we will see. Back from vacation, boys. Jason, where'd you go, man? Where'd you go? Let us know. No news at the Broncos camp. Our Broncos guy comes in. Let us know everything that's going on with Broncos camp, man. I always want to see what Sean Payton's doing with that organization, how he's keeping Russell Wilson in check. Bills, Colts, 21-13. Dude's already predicting preseason game 1. I love that. Listen, I love that, man. Listen, put in the books. Let's lock in that parlay. Here is the thing sometimes when coaches talk, it is more of a message to the players than to the general public. Maybe he found it concerning because he did not want Diggs to miss valuable time with Josh Allen, perhaps. Luckily, it's over. Like I said, luckily it's over, and it's not anything that we need to worry about, but we'll see. And he says, Diggs has 27 million reasons to show up to camp on time and happy. Like I said, dude's getting a massive deposit into his bank account on the 26th, the second that he shows up. Yeah, dude. He's going to be showing up skipping. He will be skipping into the facility. I promise you. Yo, Rudy's is there. Jason Phillips is coming with this blasphemy, saying, also, all blue cheese is trash. Ranch all day, baby. Chris Parker, I think Bean should call in Dr. Phil to get things straight before the season starts. No. I'm not sure about Dr. Phil, man. I'm not sure about Dr. Phil. There has to be somebody a little better. You know what I mean? Like, since that catch me outside girl, I feel like he's sort of lost his step. Cody in the house. He certainly is. And then we also have AJ should stay 100%. He has to, dude. Honestly, I think that he wasn't talked about enough last year. His production was crazy. I think this year is going to be really good. I'm hoping that we can see some really good production from him while we still wait for Von Miller to come back, which, by the way, so did y'all see Von Miller, bro? Dude, I guarantee you that dude ended up getting some – I guarantee you that dude ended up getting like a random note on his locker being like, hey, random steroid check for Vaughn. But look at this dude. Look at this absolute fucking unit we got on our hands right here, boys. It seems like that his recovery seems to be going well. Dude. Oh, he's probably getting a random drug test. I guarantee you. So not that he's been using them, but I'm just saying that's how the NFL is going to be. They'll be like, damn, that dude's looking whatever. But Lake Champlain, that's dope. That's dope, Jason. Dan just discussed the Barry Cunningham report on 7-3, which included the supplemental policy report containing the fact that Hill was pointed out by the man when he hit in a lineup. We haven't even checked up on that, have we? We haven't even checked up on the whole Tyreek Hill situation. It's been a long holiday weekend. Let's see what we got. I mean, honestly, I think at this point, it's been going so far, and the league has been asking so much about Tyreek Hill that has officially requested the video. We already saw that. I want to see something a little newer. Okay, he's putting in that work, but he's probably going to be suspended by the NFL. I saw that Tyreek Hill, and so he offered the guy $200 after it happened. I mean, I'm not sure if he was being sincere about that. Yeah, I'm not seeing much else when it comes down. He said it was Barry Cunningham. You see Barry Cunningham, Tyreek Hill. Nothing there. Let me see. Let's go to Tyreek Hill, Barry Cunningham. Let's see. Sitting here at Google and stuff. There he is. What's Barry got to say? Dude, my man tweets a lot. Where's the Tyreek Hill situation, man? So we talking about Tyreek Hill or not? Looks like dude's like a mix of like politics and also sports. Okay. I will just take your word for it, my friend. So Dr. Phil would make it worse? Of course it would. So Chris Brown is going to start the Bills season on the radio play-by-play. Murphy's still recovering. I know, it's such a shame to hear what happened to Murphy. Sincerely hoping for a very quick recovery for the guy. It's going to be weird not hearing the play-by-play from Murphy. But hopefully Chris Brown ends up making it better. Dan, and so the NFL security contact from Miami is requesting the videotape audio. All witness interviews to be provided to the NFL. Mark, I think that's a sign where, at minimum, he's going to be gone 2 games. He's going to be gone 2 games, I would say. In my honest opinion, I think the NFL is going to put some sort of suspension on the guy. Now, it just depends on how long that investigation happens, right? So whether or not that he's going to suffer it this year or if he's going to suffer the suspension next year. Not entirely sure. Dan, and so the Dolphin members on the panel and most in the chat are all putting their heads in the sand. They have to. They have to, man. I feel like it's hard for them to even attempt to defend the guy. But I think that it's got to be gone, man. And so if you were to guess how many games, 2, they fight over it and it goes down to 1 game, I am not see Hill losing more than 1 or 2 games from the suspension. I mean, honestly, dude, like I try to look back and I try to think of like players at A, like they did end up getting away with it. And then like, so here was the deal as well, right? Like y'all remember when Alvin Kamara like got in a fight with that one guy? Oh, look at this. This is interesting. So this is back in May, and this will just give us some context. So yeah, this will give us some context when it comes into it. So when Alvin Kamara ended up getting in that fight with somebody, right? They said that the NFL standard has been a 6-game suspension, was found guilty or avoids all legal consequences. So this is a similar situation, only he ended up fighting the guy. Let me see if I can find exactly what it is. Will the NFL suspend? And so it becomes increasingly likely that Kamara will not face any discipline from his February 2022 arrest in Las Vegas until the upcoming 2023 season. The NFL tends to wait for a player's legal process to play out before handling out a suspension. So how this works out and just how I was thinking about it, I think that if Tyreek sees any sort of issue at all, because like that Alvin Kamara thing happened 2 years ago, right before last season. So they wait for the legal proceedings to be done. So if I'm Tyreek Hill, what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that this gets completely dragged out. Like this whole like lawsuit and civil suit gets dragged out because like these civil suits really don't finish out quickly, right? Like the right to a speedy trial is more so on the criminal side of things and not a civil thing, and civil cases take forever, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if Tyreek, if he does end up seeing some sort of suspension, don't be surprised if we don't see that happen until the beginning of the 2024 season, because it looks like that he might get a suspension. And so I'm talking about Alvin Kamara now, but that most likely won't be until the beginning of this year, which is pretty wild. And so I don't think John Murphy will be back, unfortunately. Chris is okay, but nobody can totally replace him. He was great. He said, got my question answered before you read it. Look at that, man. Yeah. And so I think them wanting the video is to see how bad it was. Yep. A month right until the Hall of Fame game. Preseason football is so close. I'm salivating, bro. And so if he hit a guy a couple games, and if he actually went after the guy like it's a legend, then it's like 6-ish. Grace, what's going on? Hope you enjoyed your 4th of July. Brown will be great. I like the way he goes after Tasker sometimes on their afternoon show. That's always how you got to do it. 31 Buffalo, 10 Denver. Ride that? Oh, no. Oh, no. And so Kamara got into a fight. Hill slapped the neck. 2 entirely different things. Yeah, man. Like, regardless of any sort of – I mean – and so I'm honestly thinking about it from this perspective, man. If he does get any sort of suspension, it's not going to be until 2024. And maybe 2 games, if that, maybe. So I'm completely kidding. I have no expectations for my Broncos. Definitely a potential trap game for the Bills, though. There always is. There always is. Mark is coming after DF forever. Well, no. Is he not? So I can see Adams of the Raiders because he does not follow under the enhanced suspension criteria. Hill does this to his guilty plea in 2014 for strangling and punching his pregnant girlfriend. Yeah, I mean, maybe they put into some sort of, I don't know, some sort of account like previous behavior. Who even knows? Who even knows? Ladies and gents, quick John Mafia live show today. I wanted to discuss the Josh Allen podcast, a little bit of your live questions. As always, you'll see me live at Bill's Mafia Happy Hour a little later today at 5 p.m. EST. Good news, great news. The recorded videos are coming back. I love going live. I'm still going live, okay? 11 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. But those recorded videos coming back too. So I have a lot of really exciting things coming for you guys as we lead up to training camp. And thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure that you do sign up for Prize Picks because they already have some of the futures out there in case you're feeling a little froggy when it comes into sports betting. I'll see you at 5 p.m., guys. Go Bills.